Hi, welcome to ACTB Reporter. My name is Ajay and I'm the lead developer of ACTB Reporter. I'm going to walk you through the application. The ACTB Reporter was developed to support the review and optimization of anatomical structures, cell types, and biomarkers. The tables are authored by domain experts in support of developing an atlas for the healthy human body. The reporter homepage lists affiliations, contributors, and provide a link to the code on GitHub, the documentation, and the visualization. To go to the visualization, click on the button Go to Visualization. An organ selected table pops up. Here, you have an option to select any number of organs you like. You can select all organs and you can deselect all organs. For time being, I'm selecting 3 organs. I'm selecting bone marrow, brain, and heart. In addition to this, we have an option to select the version 2. So for bone marrow, I'm selecting version 1.0, and for the brain, I'm selecting 1.1 draft, and for the heart, I'm leaving it as 1.0. When you click on the submit, the visualization will be rendered. On this screen, you can see the visualization of selected organs together with the number of menu items and toolbars. The visualization shows the relationships between anatomical structures, the cell types located in the anatomical structures, and the biomarkers commonly used to characterize the cell types. The patterning of anatomical structures are colored in red, and the cell types are colored in blue, and the biomarkers are colored in green. In addition to this, biomarkers are assigned shapes based on the biomarker type. For these visualizations, I selected bone marrow, brain, heart. We have gene biomarkers and protein biomarkers, shapes coded by green circles and green diamonds respectively. Let's go over the functions in the toolbar. Clicking this button lets you toggle the sidebar that you see on the left. This is the search bar. Click on this and start typing to find structures, cell types, and biomarkers. Here I am searching frontal lobe. On selecting this entity, a blue rectangle will appear around the name of the entity and it will be rendered on the visualization. In addition to this, we have an option to select AS, CT, B that highlights the selected entities. In addition to this, we have select all and deselect all. Select all is for selecting all the entities and deselect all is for deselecting all the entities. Now let's go with the organ selector. This lists all our organs and the ACTB reporter presently supports 25 organs. When you click on these organs and then click submit, you'll be sent to their appropriate visualization. Here I'm selecting bone marrow and heart and then clicking submit, and the visualization will be rendered. Moving on, this icon opens the data tables from which the reporter obtains its data in a new tab. This icon reloads the data and refreshes the display. This icon activates the playground mode. We'll cover this later in the video. And this is the indented list. This indented list shows the data in a hierarchical view of the data. The comparison function activates when you click this icon. You may use this to link your own Google Sheet or upload a valid file from your local device to compare the main visualization. We'll cover this later in the video as well. The report window opens when you click this icon. The reporter contains numerous statistics of data as shown here. By selecting this option, you can export this report to an Excel format. The debug log may be accessed by clicking this icon. For all selected organs and the individual organs, this log lists warnings and problems that occur during the data processing and visualization development. There are 2 tabs to choose from. The first one shows the logs for the organ sheet that is now chosen. The second one shows the current session logs. The export options will be displayed when you click this icon. The visualization may be saved in 2 different image formats, PNG and SVG. The JSON format can be used to export the visualization configuration, which is Vegaspec. In addition to these formats above, we have graph data, JSON LD, and OWL format, which is ontology readable format. Finally, clicking on this icon will take you to documentation, GitHub code, terms and conditions, and policy. Let's look at the visualization in more detail now. The red dot denotes anatomical structures, blue dot denotes cell types, and green denotes biomarkers. Every node's ontology ID is listed underneath its name. The graph is interactive, meaning that the pieces may be clicked or hovered to perform certain activities. When you hover your mouse over a node, a tooltips appear with further information about the node. The out degree, or the number of links that travel out from the node, the number of connections entering into the node, is the in degree, and there is the degree, which is the total number of in and out degrees. It also displays the ontology ID and RDFS label for that specific node. When you hover your mouse over a node, you will see that the links between the nodes and its connected nodes are highlighted. Click the node to keep the highlight to make the visualization clearer, and the nodes and the edges that are not part of the picture will be pushed to the background. To deselect the node, click anywhere in the display. Click on the name of the node to learn more about it. A window with a brief description of the node, ontology ID, notes by SMU scientists, and the IRA link will be appear from below. You can see here the description for the bone marrow and its ontology ID and its IRA link and the notes by SMU scientists. Here we see that the no notes found, which means the SMU didn't provide any notes for the bone marrow. Let's now look at some other visualization functions that can be performed. Cell type and biomarker function buttons are located on the left sidebar. Sorting and sizing of cell type and biomarker nodes is possible. They can be ordered by degree or alphabetically. Their degree, in degree, and out degree may all be used to size them. Biomarker nodes can also be filtered based on the type. At the moment, the reporter only supports 5 filter types, namely gene, protein, lipids, metalloids, and proteoforms. Now we'll see them practically. Coming back to the cell types, here we can sort the cell types either by using alphabetically or degree. Currently I am clicking on degree. On the visualization, the cell types are ordered by degree, and we can also change the size of the cell types either by degree, in degree, or out degree. The biomarkers can also be filtered and sorted using alphabetically and degree, and they can be filtered with 5 biomarker types. I click gene biomarker, and now only on the visualization gene markers are only present. Reporter also allows you to change the parameters of the display via the control panel on the left sidebar. The visibility of the ontology ID on the display may be toggled using this button. Toggle this button, you can see that the ontology IDs are hidden from the visualization. This slider may be used to adjust the tree width, and this slider can be used to change the height of the tree, and this slider adjusts the horizontal distance between each node, and this one adjusts the vertical distance between the bimodal nodes. If there are label mismatch between what the author calls and the corresponding ontology label, we use label mismatch, and for the missing ontology ID we use this toggle to highlight on the visualization, and to find the duplicate IDs we use this toggle button. Let's look at how the comparison tool works. You may use this tool to compare your data to the data tables. To use this function, go to the toolbar and click on the compare icon. You may use this form to input some of the data that can be compared. The title and description are optional, followed by the link of your data on Google Sheets and the attachment icon here that allows you to upload a file from your local device. And any of this Google Sheet link or upload a CSV file is required. And finally, a color of your choosing. And I've got some sample data that can be used here to compare to the data tables. So I'm going to enter a Google Sheet link, and I'm going to choose a color. I'm using fallopian tube, and going back to the reporter again, I'm pasting this link over here, and I'm naming the sheet name as tube and the description as comparison. and I'm choosing a color. And you may also add multiple sheets by clicking the add button, but I'm just going to use one and then select the compare button. As a result, this will get the data from the selected file and display it on the visualization. All nodes that are shared by your data and the main data tables has been colored in the color you pick. And all the additional nodes such as this one have a stroke border around them and added to the display. This one is temporary and the data will vanish as you refresh the display. One thing to keep in mind is that the data must be in the format provided by ASATB table for the comparison to work. If you choose a link to the Google Sheets, it also has to be visible to the general public. This means that anyone with the access to the internet may see this table. Now let's look at the playground feature. It allows you to examine a mini version of the visualization as well as upload and visualize your own data. To enable the playground function, go to the toolbar and click playground icon. This is a smaller version of the visualization that is easier to understand. On the top there are 3 tabs. The visualization tab is where you'll find the visualization. Then there is tab called table where the visualization in a tabular format, and then there is upload button. Let's take a glimpse at the tab for tables. You may make real-time changes to the data to observe how it affects the display. Here I'm changing the name of the node to demo. And let's go back to the visualization and update this and how it will be rendered. Here you can see that the name of this node has changed to demo. So here is how you can make real-time changes to data to the visualization and observe how it works. Now let's have a glimpse at the upload section. You may see your own data or any data in the ASATB table format by linking it here. Let's go get some data for visualization. I've got the blood data table here and I'll copy the URL. And I'll go back to the reporter and I paste the URL over here. And then click link, the visualization will appear. Of course, you may alter the width and height of this representation as well as any of the control or functions just like we explored before. Again, please keep in mind that this visualization may only be made if the data is open to the public. Also, because this is a temporary adjustment, when you reload the page, the changes to the visualization will be undone and the reporter will not save any of your data. As a result, this is simply the purpose of the visualization. Finally, let's have a look at the documentation for the ASATB reporter. Clicking on this icon will take you to the home page. On the home page, go to the docs menu on the toolbar. This will let you navigate to the reporter documentation where you'll learn how the reporter works and how to control and operate the various features. I hope you found this video useful. Please contact us if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.